Hello everyone, this is Bentley from Kent, Washington, and this is the video that you guys asked for. For those of you who are wondering, what did we ask for? Because of you wonderful folks, we have the community tab now on the channel, and I put up a poll earlier this week with a list of different videos and a potential live stream and asked which one you guys wanted to have the most. And by overwhelming votes, there was a fish room tour. So just kind of going through, looking at what's going on in a lot of the projects, and a lot of just the other tanks in the house, and giving you guys some updates. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start in what I call my grow room, which is where the blue Hawaiian Moscow Guppies are, the Zebra Plecos, all sorts of Gary Lange rainbows that are growing up, as well as the Plants for Profit tank. And then we're going to bounce over to the display room, which in all honesty is not in full display shape. Just my work schedule's been kind of crazy. But we'll go through the two bigger community tanks that are there in the display room, and then also a few of the changes that are going to happen in that room over time. So the big thing here is that if you aren't checking out the community tab, that's your opportunity to guide my channel. I'm going to put up polls and all sorts of stuff there where you guys get an opportunity to really speak and show me what you want to see out of the ideas that I have. Now, usually my goal is in those, is I'm going to do all those things. It's just which one gets my priority because you guys want to see that the most. Let's hop over to the tour, and thanks again.
Okay, guys. So let's kind of come through my fish room and do your tour. So you come in through the door over here, and my my spare supplies. Almost right away, we get the Guppy Mansion, as I like to call it. Let me step back some so you can see it a little better. And just I'll be behind camera just because I don't have something set up to make it a little easier. But you can see the guppies. If you guys saw my announcement video yesterday, I'm selling a very select number of these for the winter, and then once we hit spring, the colony will be pretty big size, and I'll sell quite a few more. So this tank, like you guys have seen the evolution of this thing, it's really grown and crazy. That sword is actually so huge now that I have to go through and chop it up. Just take a lot of the extra leaves. You can see some of these leaves here that have holes in them and stuff. These SAEs. They just need to get removed. So the young growth, and you can see the younger growth has this nice red, kind of dusky, almost brown color coming in. Pull off some of that old growth, let that new growth get in there, and also not start bullying out some of like the crypts, the Nymphea santarum here, stuff like that. I have to do a big trim of some of the rest of the Poker here. Pretty usual stuff. The only kind of neat thing, we've got our kind of rare crypts growing here. There's the Pahang mutated Nurii, and then there's regular Nurii here, and this thing's just going gangbusters. As you can see, tons and tons of new leaves in it from when I first got it. We got like some Ireo that's back in here hiding. This is a really cool carpeting plant. This is Helanthium quadricostatus. And then, of course, this is just some S. repens through here, but you can see these big chain swords kind of moving through. I put it in here just to grow it out. There's some random stems in here from a friend that are growing out just to color back up and get good. And then over here, kind of off by its lonesome, is a Crypt Florida Sunset that I got from Robert, the manager at Aquarium Co-op. He asked me to grow it out a little bit more, replicate it some, and then bring him back one. So there's the Guppy Mansion in kind of all of its glory. This is the day before I start doing water changes, so when we get to the fry racks, you'll see they need cleaning. Like, they're a little dirty just from detritus and stuff because they're bare bottom. But this tank's been doing just phenomenally, and I absolutely love it. It's a big favorite on YouTube. So we got that one. Now let's move over. We kind of shift around. This room's not very big. We got some random supplies over there, some tissue cultures. This is the Plants for Profit tank. You can see it is crazy overgrown. I have to do a bunch of trimming in this thing. It's actually like shading out some of the lower growth here that I'd repropagated. I've just been so busy I haven't been able to take proper care of this thing. I'll be honest. I just got past one of my major parts of my busy season, and I'll finally have some spare time. So that'll mean a bunch of cleanup in here, which will happen probably tomorrow, as well as water changes later today as you guys are watching this, which is Saturday. So pretty simple. We've got the Cochu Tetras looking really stellar. Tons of plants. all sorts of hidden stuff. My SAEs have kind of tore up my Boehlkea launder down here, just because they're jerks. And then down here you can see we've got a whole swath of crypts growing out. This crypt right here, make sure it focuses properly, is really cool. This is Jacobsoni pink. And there's a bunch more back in through there. It's kind of hard to see, I know. This room's kind of small, so it's hard to properly get angles through here with light. You can see a bunch of different Nereis back here. There's a Hooteroi growing out, which you can look at that big leaf of that Hooteroi there. This looks phenomenal. And that's not even full size. As it gets bigger, it'll look even cooler. A little thing of Monte Carlo growing up here on the side in this little rack piece. And then speaking of, you can see like my CO2 system down here. And we'll little focus. So let me pan out some. So here's all our Gary Lange rainbows. And a few that are not Gary Lange. So let's go through them, shall we? Some of them are pretty shy. I'm going to warn you guys. So we're going to start low, and then we'll move out. Down here, this is the Melanotaenia Parvas. And if you pay attention, you can see they're starting to get some orange in their finnage. These guys take forever to color up, but man, they're such a cool fish when they're adults. I'm going to come to the side. These are my babies. They're running rivers. They're starting to get kind of a reddy bronze hue in the lower part of their body, which is normal. The tops have kind of a blue-gray tone. And then a few of the biggest males are starting to get their stripes in. If you look real close, the bottom part of the back toward the tail, you'll see these thin black stripes that are coming in. Which is real nice, real cool. These guys have been doing great. They eat like absolute hounds. Then here we have, other than some stuff growing on the glass, the Melanotaenia Goldiei Dekais, and then some Herbertaxelrodi. The Axelrodi are actually starting to color up, which is pretty nice. The Goldiei Dekais are too. Had a lot of losses. Hello, kitty. Sorry, one of my girlfriend's cats decided to come in while I'm in here. But overall, they're doing very healthy. They're good size. They're starting to color, which is nice. We'll sweep up this way. These are not Gary Lange, but these are from Lucas Brett's. These are the unnamed species from Cali Rum. Again, not getting colors, but some real faint kind of red in the fins. And Lucas has even mentioned, like, if I put these on a dark substrate, they'd color up more. And I'm not really stressing. You can see all the green beans that I threw in the night before that the green dragon plecos in here have been working on. You can see some of them hanging out here. Glass, the albino up there on that floating Anubias. They've just been kind of tearing through stuff. This was a chunk of zucchini on this fork. They absolutely demolished that. And then we come to the middle here. These are my Chalathorina fasciatas from Cali Biru. It's a whole swath of these guys. Some of them are going to go to a couple members inside the club. Like Randy Reed from the Aquarius podcast is getting some of these guys. You can see a little dirtier in this tank compared to some of the others, but part of that is from the wood that's here. It tends to shed a lot of detritus. And then I've noticed something really interesting in my water lately that's caused me to see some hydra in some of these tanks. And that just happens, seasonal water changes. Finally, we've got 3 mystery rainbows that Aquarium Co-op had as small babies that I'm growing out and I'm going to identify for them. And then finally there's the Chalathorina aleni wapogas, and they're super shy. I'm sorry about that. Let me try and shift to block some light here, make it easier to see. You can see they're getting that stripe in. The very top of their body's blue. The biggest boy, who's hiding in back right there, he has the faintest amount of yellow coming in his lower abdomen, but the second he's shy or whatever, that just instantly goes away and he goes into hiding. So this fish is just super cool. I'm really looking forward to breeding these guys. I'll be expanding parts of the fish room to make some room. I was originally going to change out, we'll just scroll, I'm going to look up here, put some tens up here where some of my spare supplies are. And then my schedule's been so hectic, I haven't had the time to do it. Again, other tens will go over here. That's just to raise stuff out. These tanks are too long, you can see kind of coming off, so I don't want to use those. I have to build a different rack for them. But that's going to be to breed the fish I got from Bob, which we'll see those in just a sec. Let's talk Zebra Plecos. I've had a lot of requests to update on these guys, and really here's the simple part. I changed the filter out. That might sound small. So that's a Tidal 110 at full blast on a 29-gallon tank. Plecos love flow. And you can see, like, I am actually letting this get kind of junked up. You can see kind of how, like, nasty this is over here. There's some leftover bloodworms, and that's some catappa leaves that have broke all the way down. I got some advice through Sarah Bills that for some Plecos to try and get them to spawn, like, kind of really slack on your water changes. Don't water change them for a couple weeks. Let it get a little nasty as long as you're not seeing health issues and they're still eating well. And then do a big water change and get that high flow going. Well, you can just see one peeking out. Oh, the second I move, hide. But the good news is we're pretty certain, and that might be her right there, that there is an adult female definitely in this colony. I asked the help of both Sarah Bills and Master Breeder Dean. You can see some of the others hiding down in here. They're all really hidey. That's the unfortunate part of Plecos. The second I'm here, they hide. If I look from the edge of the room, they'll come out, especially at night. You'll notice I don't like this tank. I let it just get ambient light from the rest of the room, and then at night it stays dark. One, that saves me on power. Two, they're a little shy. They're going to be a little more comfortable without all of that extra light. They get plenty of ambient light. It gets pretty bright in there during the day, and then they get their kind of nighttime. So basically, all I'm waiting on is for them to fatten up. I'm feeding pretty healthy, lots of bloodworms, live brine shrimp, a little bit of rapashi here and there, occasionally some veg. They don't tend to really eat it, but I try just in case they need some extra in their diet. I mix some stuff in with rapashi to give them a little extra, not pure carnivore, just in case, so they don't plug up. And then I will fast them about a day a week, just to be safe. So we'll slide over here to the Shellies. You can see this big old group of them swimming around, doing what Shellies do. You can see they've just re-engineered the heck out of this tank and knocked their sponge filter. So that little sponge intake, which Bob Steenfont suggested those things as a tryout because they're dirt cheap from, I think, PetSmart. And they knocked that little thing off of that AC 110 all the time. So, again, next water change, which is today or tomorrow, I just got to go in there and put it back on. You can see they're doing great. They're just engineering their tank anytime I try to mess with it. Tons of big adults. It's going to be really hard to zoom in, but there are some little babies hiding down in there toward the back of the tank. I give them live brine every day, just like I do all the baby rainbows, so they're getting plenty of food. And what I'll do is I'll throw it into the current so that it flies down throughout the whole tank. But you can see they're just kind of curious things. Nothing really big to report on these guys. They've been breeding a little slow, but I'm not really trying to force them to breed a lot. There's a lot in this tank, so until I was to, like, say, sell some off or give some to some local club members, I don't need to push them too hard. So above that, one of the other kind of pseudo plant for profit tanks, this thing, as you can see, is crazy overgrown as well. Just a matter of my time. I need to go through, do some cleanup. You can see two of the Leopoldi angels hanging out back there. The rest of them are all hiding. They've got these like spots in the back of the tank where they hide, and they're super shy. And you can see, again, I mentioned I was getting like some Hydra really recently. I've never had Hydra problems in these tanks. I feed the same amount I've always fed, and all of a sudden I'm getting them, which leads me to think there's some change in the water system that's added some extra bacteria or something that's allowed these things to start spawning. I just need to go through and get a dewormer and take care of them. Pretty simple stuff. Just a ton of, just for fun, you can notice I also need to clean this glass pretty bad, but there's a bunch of Hygrophila Pinnatifida right through here. And then in the back there, if you see that purple plant that looks kind of like Alternanthera reinekii, that is actually a very, very rare Hygrophila called Thai Purple that I got from a friend that I've been growing out. It grows insanely slow. There's some Nisea golden over here and back over here. There's another kind of rare Anubias down here called Bonsai. You got a Pinto that's over here behind this big old fat auto. Just all sorts of stuff in this tank. See, this like Rotala is not doing so great. I just got to give it more light by trimming all the stuff back. Pretty simple. So the last tank that's in this room is where Bob Steenfots, Gary Lange, Atinjo, Bosmani are, and you can see they look beautiful. They're always at the front of the tank whenever I'm here now, always begging for more food. They're in there with my ungulums right now. They've actually been doing really great together. I've noticed the ungulums are actually growing a little bit faster with the competition from these bigger fish, which is kind of neat to me. And you can see I've added some extra stuff. We got some extra plants. I'm going to put a couple more of these little trays like this together. I've got some, get my finger in here. I've got those tissue culture plants I need to get into the water. That's going to get done also later today. I've got a lot of projects today and tomorrow that I have to get done just because the holidays gave me some extra time. I got some other errands done. This is the last stuff that needs to get done as far as the fish are concerned. But that gives you a walk around the grow room. So we'll just kind of pan. See an AquaClear 110 runs that tank. Fluval 3.0. Just to give you an idea of what's going on here and how I run these tanks. My trash bin on the top there. It's the secret I was trying to hide earlier. So what I have trimmed, I kind of use a specimen container as a trash bin. And about the only other thing I can show you is some super secret Plecos I've been hiding that I got from the North Sound Aquarium Society, which are these awesome stuffed ones here. And my broom for sweeping, which I need to do as well. So that's it, guys. That is the grow room. It's kind of an update here. One more time, we'll pan through. Just kind of quick. All the random stuff I have lying around in the least organized fashion possible. All right. That's it, guys. There's your update. There's your minor fish room tour. We'll go tour the display room next, and then from there, we'll be done.
So there's part one of the fish room tour. I have to break this into two parts, and as you can probably tell just from the intro and the outro to this completely different day. I'm editing this Saturday morning. Normally I would have the video out by the time I'm sitting here still working on it, but just my schedule's been a little crazy. So I was doing a lot of the footage last night. I have to still do some footage just because all the lights were off in the display room when I got home, and it's a little harder to force those ones on. So with that being said, I'm going to be splitting it into two, so you'll get the display room as an extra video. So we'll just have a few more videos. That'll come probably Wednesday is my goal. I'll get most of that done this weekend and get it edited. Probably like Monday, Tuesday, do the editing work. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the tour through the grow out room. The updates on a lot of the major fish that you guys have asked for, and we'll do the second part of the video coming up here in a few days. So look forward to that. Again, thank you so much for all of you guys. Just your participation, especially your love in the comments, all those things. I really am grateful for that stuff. Don't forget, I'm going to link this down below in the description and also the end cards. We do have that giveaway going on that goes until Christmas Day, where you can, if you're in the United States, win an API Master Freshwater Kit, or anyone in the world can win a $25 Amazon gift card. Or, if you're in the States, you can get something, say, like you want an aquarium co-op because you want to support a fish business or something like that. We can work that out. But generically, a $25 Amazon gift card. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay awesome.